Morning, Kitty.
Morning,
How are you?
Chandran. Radio, television, Bandara Ipoh. Morning Ipoh with Katie, Episode 4 brings me to this wonderful and incredible automotive showroom. Conversation with Mr. P.R. Chandran, the CEO of Ipoh Auto City, Chandran Berhad. And today, we will be discovering and chatting with the Ipoh boy who has made it good in the automotive industry. His humble beginnings, how he started his journey in this great automotive industry, and how he's able to persevere and continue to what he's doing today. Great.
Thank you.
Morning Ipoh with Katie under Radio Television Bandara Ipoh brings you the 4th episode, and this time around it's a very special conversation with the CEO and the founder of Ipoh Auto City, a very close friend of mine who I've known for the past 35 years, introducing Mr. P.R. Chandran. Good morning, sir.
Morning, Kitty.
Mr. Chandran, how was your feeling appearing at the 4th episode of Radio Television Bandara Ipoh?
I'm very excited, Kitty. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Dato' Bandar Ipoh, Dato' Rumaizi, and also the radio TV Bandaraya Ipoh, which is the first of its kind, which is, I've never heard this before in Ipoh, being the last 35 years in business. And I've been actually aware of some of the activities what the Majlis Bandaraya has been practicing, but this is the first time that I'm hearing something Radio TV Bandaraya Ipoh, which is a very fruitful program for Ipohians. Thank you.
Indeed, Mr. Chandran, Dato' Rumaizi Baharin as the Mayor of Ipoh has decided we need to go across the globe. That is why Ipoh City Council is the first council in the whole of Malaysia who have this idea of going online, having his own radio and television channel. And we are here. The noble idea of getting to know the local persons, local individuals who have made Ipoh great. And this morning, Mr. Chandran, let's begin with your humble beginnings, right? Being in Ipoh, which school you went to and how you began your life.
Katie, I've grown up in a small town called Goping. So Goping, where I started with my first primary school, and we came back to Ipoh after my standard 3, because my father was working in Goping mining. Then he had a major surgery, so he couldn't continue his job. Then he came to Ipoh. So I've been basically living in Ipoh since then. The location where I stayed is called Hilo Street. Today you see a Soho. There was a small place where my father rented from a house. That's where we grew up. And then I continued my secondary in Ipoh. And I decided to for the sake of my family, I have to look after my siblings and as well as my parents. I quit my Form 5 to start off automotive business as a sales advisor first.
Yes, I know, because Mr. Chandra has told me about humble beginnings. Imagine quitting Form 5 and taking care of a family is never easy. The humble beginnings of this great man, where he knew his vision was in automotive industry. I knew because at that particular time, even though I didn't know him, I heard about his story where he was trying to sell cars to rich business people. That was the idea he had, Mr. Chandran. So I think maybe it is just God's calling that among all the business industries in the world that you can think of, you were involved in automobile. Tell me how you started, your humble beginning as a salesperson, how you managed to go up step by step in the ladder of success to where you are today.
Katie, it's always, I believe, everything ever start with the first step. So, and also the passion from young. Sometimes people say, hey, this boy or this girl, since young, they are like this, either into games or either into some kind of sports or either into studies.
Yes.
So for me, it's all about cars. So I used to walk around to a lot of car showrooms and keep seeing all the new cars in the showrooms, even at the age of 13. So, of course, as a student, you don't know anything about cars and the makes and model. But the moment I quit school and immediately I started joining the first company after I was assisting someone in the company, and the job was given to me at the late Tan Sri Aya's company. So the late Tan Sri Aya Ahmad, the DRB ICOM group chairman, and also is a major shareholder of DRB ICOM. Then he had the Isuzu dealership, as distributorship for Malaysia. So in Ipoh, there was a showroom in Jalan Leong Sinam. If you can see, currently is a Gerakan office.
Okay.
So that's where I started as a sales advisor. And from then, within 5 years later, I decided to start my own business. And of course, again, the late Tan Sri Aya and his senior managers have already knew my reputation and also my contribution. So they decided to give me a dealership in Ipoh. And they knew that I'm a person that I won't leave Ipoh. Even though they offered me a job as a manager to go to Malacca, but I decided not to take the offer. Reason is because of, again, my siblings and my parents that I need to take care. So I already told and I rejected the offer, and I told the managers that I will either live in Ipoh and I will do my business in Ipoh. Whatever takes, I will not leave Ipoh. So with that strong word, they decided to give me a dealership in Ipoh because they want someone that a strong person from Ipoh to maintain the Ipoh market share, and also they encouraging me to continue my contribution to Ipoh in the form of market share. So that was one of the good start of for me to have a dealership at the age of 25. I remember the first name card that I made is from you when I got my first dealership from DRB ICOM.
Yeah. Mr. Chandran, what you told me touched my heart because I was part of your humble journey. I remember in the year 1988 when I was doing advertising, there were a person, a young, handsome Indian man who came and asked me, do you print name cards? And it was you. I remember it was Mitsumoto's at the time, yes.
Yeah.
And after that, we began to be close. Why? One very special reason. We both love cars. That particular passion has put us together till today. That is friendship forever. And I'm glad. I never knew that you were given a job to go to Malacca. And I'm so happy that you stayed back, right? You persevered on, you soldiered on, and you began to show your incredible success in the automotive industry, never giving up, going against challenges. And that is where Mr. Chandran, a person known in the automotive industry, talking me to today about his humble beginnings, how he began to continue having the DRB dealership, selling cars of different marks and so forth. But I remember, Mr. Chandran, in 1997, the crisis came and all the big companies suffered. So what did you do at that particular crisis in 1997 for you to save the company and bring it forward?
Katie, 1997, it was the biggest lesson that not only me and every car industry and also every entrepreneur in the other industry has suffered. This suffering, it didn't last very long. The reason is because one of the main reasons Malaysia decided not to take up this IMF offer.
Yes.
So I believe that is the turnaround for Malaysia, and we all suffered for almost 3 months. I had that time 9 showrooms in Ipoh, and in less than 3 months, I closed 6 of the showrooms.
Wow.
And I took a very huge loss in my investment, and some of the showroom has been officially launched by the ministers, and these are the showroom I have to close down in less than 3 months. So never mind. I realized as long where I started the beginning as a sales advisor to become a businessman, I went back to the same route again, because I decided not to give up. Because as an Ipohian, I built a lot of friendship in Ipoh, and believe me or not, I could be at that time the age around 30, but my friends around me was all are 50s. So the senior friends actually guided me back to the track, and how I came back after the 4th to 5th month, if I'm not mistaken, I saw some light in the tunnel, and I decided to work very, very hard, and I decided to continue have the same passion as before, and slowly I opened up back another 3 outlets within the 1 year period.
Great, Mr. Chandran. You've heard about the struggles in the automotive industry. We have come to the end of segment 1. The incredible journey of Mr. Chandran continues under segment 2, while we go and take a short break. Stay tuned. We're bringing more news from Morning Ipoh with Katie under Radio Television Bandara Ipoh.
See the sun don't come on the darkest day. Gotta keep marching on. Yeah. On a lonely day, I'm gonna keep on. Whoa.
Radio, Television, Bandara Ipoh. Morning Ipoh with Katie, second segment. A conversation with Mr. P.R. Chandran continues with the wow factor. What does wow means? World of wonders. Right here in Ipoh, we'll be able to speak to this great gentleman, a good friend of mine, about his incredible vision, mission, objective is to assist all the people in Ipoh to ensure that this brand name, Subaru, is alive in Ipoh. The man responsible to bring Subaru to Ipoh, which with a great pride, as we know that Subaru or Subaru is an asymmetrical 4-wheel drive vehicle, which is one of the best. So Mr. Chandran, it always brings me wonder, among all the marks in the world that you can bring, why did you select Subaru?
Katie, morning again. Thank you for giving us again this opportunity to talk about the product that what gives us survival in this city, Ipoh. Subaru is actually a brand that very well known in America, especially in US. If you go to any part of US, I think you can see Subaru is just like Proton. Because Subaru is a brand that very well positioned on safety. This is a brand, I would say, a Japanese safe model that ever they created. Okay, if you look at the star, which is resemble of 6 stars here, what is the meaning behind it is actually there were a company in Japan, they were manufacturing aerospace technologies for war planes.
Okay.
So when they retired after the war, they decided to do automobile technology using their expertise to create a product which is how Subaru been born. So they started with a boxer engine. They are one of the first company that makes boxer engines. Boxer engines which is a technology that you can see. One of the famous cars that they always carry is like Porsche Boxsters. But this engine is actually gives you a better center of gravity. So if you drive a car, Subaru, you feel the topper part of your handling is much lighter than the normal cars that you see. And the second thing is on this car is the symmetrical all-wheel drive. That symmetrical all-wheel drive is a DNA of Subaru, because most cars today, if you buy, if you decided to ask for an all-wheel drive option, you got to pay like almost 80 to 100,000 extra. But for Subaru, it is a inborn DNA. So you don't have to say, I want to pay extra for all-wheel drive. Can you provide me an all-wheel drive? No, it's given to you as free, as a technology which has already been tested and proven in the last 60 years. So I believe the reason I took the dealership is because of this car has got plenty of safety features. Thank you, Priti.
Yeah, very well said, Mr. Chandran. I believe that you have spoken very clearly about what Subaru is, and a man of your vision and experience. We have done a very long, in-depth study of why Subaru is there. So we're indeed very proud. This, I believe, is the XV model.
Yes,
right?
this is XV.
And how many models does Subaru has at this particular period?
This is the second generation of the XV.
Okay.
The new Forester has been introduced in the market.
It's over there.
The car is right over there. Can I show it to you?
Yeah, please do. Come.
Let me show you. Wow. Remember, Katie, this car that you used to drive it for a weekend?
Yes, I remember. Looks very familiar. This is the Forester with the intelligent eyesight. I remember we just had to call it auto brake system. I enjoyed the car. My family didn't want me to stop driving, but I have to stop because you know why? The car is too intelligent even for me.
Yeah. Okay. One of the best part of the new Forester, which we use this eyesight technology. As you can see on top of the windscreen, there's 2 cameras.
Yes.
That is actually the eyesight, where the car, in the event of emergency, for example, you are distracted with most of the people are distracted with the handphone, with the messages, and sometimes they drop something on the floor. They try to pick up, but they are not able to brake immediately when there's another vehicle in front of them. This is where the eyesight take over the safety part of it. The car will brake by itself. Even when you move away from your lane to a next side of the lane, the car will give you an immediate indication that to bring you back to the actual lane departure warning that will help you to bring you back to the original driving position. So the safety part of this is only one of the safety features I'm talking about, but there are many other safety features which I need a longer time to share with you, Pillay.
I know.
Thank you for asking me.
Yes.
The test drive was wonderful for you the other day.
I remember they had over 100 safety features. The car that brought fantastic memories to what I've done. And I want to thank you, Mr. Chandran. Subaru, of course, is a brand for us to look forward to. Very intelligently being engineered and built. And other than Subaru, XV and Forester, what other brands do you have, Mr. Chandran?
You mean dealership?
I mean, like the other brands of Subarus that you have.
Oh, over here I have a Levoque. This Levoque is actually a turbo version.
Wow.
And turbo versions of Subaru cars are now we don't bring in as many as before. My principal decided to bring in the new version of the Levoque. We expect to have it somewhere next year, but we do not know the actual specs and the price of the vehicle yet. But these are the earlier production that which is imported to Malaysia, and we still have this for our showroom display vehicle. And also we have another two legacy, which is Saloon and Estate station wagon they call it. Both are also turbo version, 2.5 liter, and it gives about 250 horsepower.
Wow.
So basically Subaru is known for high performance engines where it gives you a very good road holding, as well as if you were to own a Subaru before, I don't have to tell the customer that who owns a Subaru before. He will just come back and ask us for the best price because he knows about the car, that what the car can do. It's all about safety, especially with the weather like this in Malaysia now, where sometimes it rains, which you do not know where you need these safety features to assist you. This is where the car will take over your job. Thank you.
So, Mr. Chandran has spoken very well, and we in Ipoh are very lucky because you took the trouble to follow up with the dealership on how Subaru can have the particular branch over here. And other than Subaru brands, what other brands do you carry in terms of automotive?
We have the CST Auto, the first company that I formed
I remember, yes.
in 1990, and this company represents Proton, which the dealership is in Fair Park.
Yeah, Fair Park.
I think you have been there many times.
Yes, of course.
So that office is still there. We started in 1994. That showroom was launched by the late Tan Sri Yaya. He personally gave me a dealership in 1996. He gave me a dealership to start up in Ipoh. So I still maintain the dealership in that location because there's so much of sentimental reason over there for me. So I've been maintaining my head office is based in the Fair Park office. We call it Jalan Kamarudin Nisa. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chandran. That was segment 2 for 4th episode of Morning Ipoh with Katie under Radio Television Bandara Ipoh. And the third segment, believe me, what we always say, we save the best for last. The idea of indulging into automotive, indulging in his hobbies and passion, and we learn more about Mr. P.R. Chandran in a short while on why he is a very interesting figure in Ipoh. We will see you in a short while. Morning Ipoh with Katie. Move on to the final segment. We have spoken about your humble journey, about your involvement in the automotive industry, what you have gone through, the good and bad times. But Mr. Chandran, I always believe everything must be in moderation. When you work very hard, you also must take a rest. So how do you actually, indulge in the hobby or do something that you are happy doing?
Katie, you know me for many years.
Yes.
You know also my hobby.
I know.
Let me share. I have only two hobbies,
Yes.
which is family is not a hobby, but it's always with you
Yes.
forever.
Yes.
And the second one, you have to create yourself that which can last long with you, which will be your hobby that you will treasure it. And for me, the hobby is building classic cars from scrap to road usable condition.
Yes.
And that is part of my hobby. And it takes me some time to build certain cars, but during the journey maybe it takes about 3 years or 5 years. So I enjoy the time has passed and I don't feel aged by getting into this hobby.
Exactly.
So today, your visit in my showroom here,
Yes.
I did arrange some of my collections for you to see.
Wow.
So if you like to have a look, let's go.
Why
ahead.
not? I would love this. This
Yeah.
is a part of my hobby.
Yeah.
Radio Television Mandra Ipoh. Morning Ipoh with Katie. Third segment is where I love it. A place which is also close to my heart, but Mr. Chandran has taken it further for what I've done. That is his love of changing trash to treasure, bringing in old beat up cars to what it is today. Mr. Chandran, could you please share with us about your knowledge and your interest in bringing all these classic cars to life?
Katie, as you already aware that this is 1958 190 SL. Production of this car is about 25,887 units produced. So the whole world, 6 billion people, their only surviving unit can be maybe 1,000 units.
Correct.
So out of the 1,000, this is surviving in Ipoh. So I'm very proud to rebuild this car. It took me about 5 years to build, and a lot of suffering I went through because of the spare part availability was not easy. 80% of the parts you still have to source from Germany or UK or US. And come to this car, this is also produced 25,884. It's about 4 units different from these two models. And this is 1973, which is Mark 1.5, they call it Transtack. And this car was used in quite a number of Formula One and used to ferry the drivers before the race starts.
Right.
And I'll share with you some pictures,
Exactly.
So this has gone through a massive restoration job. Especially the paint job was done in Singapore.
Wow.
A complete new, scrap to bare metal. Then they resprayed the car into Old English white. So in terms of driving pleasure, this car has got a lot of nice driving pleasure because it's automatic, where this is manual.
Manual, yes.
All right. Coming to this is a fun car. This is just for you to drive anywhere, park it in a squeeze area, go to Kinta City, or you
Yes.
want to go for a movie, just find no parking spot, you just push in. So it's nothing really exciting about classic value, but it's more to pleasure and leisure kind of a car.
Right.
And of course, the other one is TD 2000. That is actually a car that produced in Malaysia but exported to Australia, because it is actually an Australian company, but they moved the production to Malaysia to assemble the car and re-export back to Australia. So one of the surviving car, I managed to get it in a good shape, and it is the car that we use mostly for the teachers who retire. They use it for the farewell. So we used to give this car no charges for any fee. Any teachers or any headmasters want to use it for for a retirement purpose or for any wedding or whatever film shooting, I always loan this car for them. So basically, these are the 4 cars that what you can see right now here.
Yes, I agree.
Thank
Mr. Chandran, we also know that you have an idea to store all these cars in a place where the public can view. I know your vision, and your mission for Ipoh is truly incredible. To bring Ipoh to a higher level, to bring Ipoh to a place not only known for food, but also a place to know for places to visit. I have not seen any car museum in Ipoh. Are you able to just share with us some good stories on your idea to at least have this museum in mind?
Katie, I think you asked at the right time this question. After a long time, we have been sourcing out for a good location to do this classic car display, and as well as do some pre-owned cars showroom. And we managed to get a location in Greentown area.
Good.
We will share with you very soon. And now the location has been under renovation.
Good.
And we expect to complete by next month. Once the showroom is ready, we will have some of the collection of these cars, and also their cars will be available for sale. There will be a lot of collectors are already now looking forward to collect, especially the young generation. So we will be bringing cars like even from US, the Mustangs and all, and also we're trying to source some cars from locally.
Wow.
Whatever cars, the classic that for sale, we will bring in all these cars into Ipoh. So being Ipoh now become a tourism hub, of course at this point of time there's this pandemic has caused less traffic to Ipoh, but eventually this thing will over very soon. So we will bring in a lot of tourists from KL, especially the classic car members, to come in for a weekend drive to our showroom and also a museum. And we also will invite all these other club owners like Ferrari Club, Maserati Club, Harley Club, all these members to come to the Greentown area to do kind of a weekend event. And at that point of time, we even call your radio, TV, Bandaraya Ipoh to come in and join us together, celebrate the excitement of all these members with the classic cars and the automotive enthusiasts to join everybody together, and we create a lot of new players in Ipoh. Thank you.
Okay, great, Mr. Chandran. I'm happy to see your vision, which is so clear. I look forward also to be part of whatever idea you have. My last question for you, being a person who is Ipoh in heart, a person who sees that the employment in Ipoh should be given to the younger generation, what is your contribution in ensuring that the younger generation in Ipoh continues to prosper and have job opportunities?
Okay, Katie, I've been doing this for the last 10 years because of I started the business when I was 20 plus, as you know, and now I'm giving the opportunity to anyone who starts from the age of 20 plus.
Good.
Like if you look at Amirul on my left, Amirul is actually he's only 26 years old.
Wow.
He's already a workshop manager for Subaru, and he's so excellent in his job, and he's very fast learner. And this is the new generation can do.
Yes.
Because we go home after 9:30, 10 o'clock, we want to sleep. But for them, they will work until 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock on the system.
Right.
So our system down after 10, but their system is go on until 2 a.m. So this is why the Y generation are doing a fantastic example like Ashim.
Sure.
Ashim, I will train him from Subaru Service Center in Ipoh. And today, he managed to win the #1 in Malaysia technical solution provider. Wow. So he went for his competition and he won to be the best technician for troubleshooting in Malaysia. Wow. So it's not easy for a guy who didn't even have a passport to go for further competition for Asia Pacific.
Right.
And he also went to Singapore for the further competition. So my job is to train all the young generation. So eventually we are also going to put up a very big service center in Jalan Kolak Kangsa, which will host a center for servicing all kind of vehicles. And also we're going to bring in all the young generation to train them into service industry.
Thank you, Mr. Chandran. I believe today you have spoken very well about the succession plan, about looking into the future of what Ipoh can be. This is what we want, where every entrepreneur, every business personnel, we take care of each other. We take care of the younger generation. That is where Ipoh City can prosper as we share, care and love each other. And that is what Morning Ipoh and KT continues to go on. Looking forward to persons who's able to assist Ipoh, to bring Ipoh City Council to a higher level. It is exactly what we want from each citizen of Ipoh. With that, thank you very much. It has been a pleasant morning with Mr. P.R. Chandran together with his team. This is truly an incredible succession for me to see what this great friend and brother of mine is doing for Ipoh, and we look forward to more, better, bigger, brighter Ipoh. Thank you. Stay safe and we see you soon.
Last but not least, Katie, I always tell this young generation, don't ask what Ipoh can do for you. Always ask yourself what you can do for Ipoh. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.